Good morning everyone. Welcome to the video tutorial of class 6 science. So students, today we will start our new chapter number 3, that is fiber to fabric. Before starting this chapter, I want to ask a question from all of you that why do human beings need clothes whereas birds and animals do not? I think all of you know the answer very well. The answer is very simple. As you all know that the animals have fur on their body which protect them from the harsh weather conditions like the heat of the sun, like cold, rain, and from insect bite also. And some animals like elephant, they have thick skin on their body which protect them from heat of the sun, from cold, from insect bite, and from rain also. And birds have feathers on their body which provide them protection from these harsh weather conditions. But the human beings do not have any one of these. We don't have any one of these. We don't have thick skin, and we don't have feathers, and we also don't have fur on our body. That is why we need clothes to protect them ourselves. Okay, so this is the reason that why human beings need clothes whereas birds and animals do not. And these clothes are made from fabric is made from yarn, and yarn is made from fiber. So fibers play a very important role in the production of clothes. So today, first of all, we will discuss about fibers, that what are fibers. Okay, and after that we will discuss that how these fibers are converted into yarn, how the yarn are converted into fabric, and how these fabrics are used in the production of clothes. So we will start our chapter with fiber. Okay. Fibers are basically long, strong, and flexible thread like structures, or you can say that they are the thread like filaments. Okay, and they are thin and continuous strands. So, the long, strong, and flexible thread like structures, or you can say that thread like filaments, are called as fibers. Okay, and these fibers are of three kinds: natural fibers, man-made fibers, and man-made fibers are also called as synthetic fibers, and the third one are mixed fibers. So what are natural fibers? The fibers which are obtained from plants and animals are known as natural fibers. Cotton, jute, linen, silk, wool, all are the examples of. Wool and silk are also known as animal fibers because wool is obtained from the fleece of sheep or goat, or it is also obtained from the hairs of rabbit, yak, and camels. Okay, and silk is also obtained from the silkworm. That is why both of them are known as animal fibers. Silk is obtained from the cocoon of the silkworm, and cotton and jute are known as plant fibers because cotton is obtained from the fruit of cotton plant and jute is obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, so both of them are also known as plant fibers. The next type of fibers are synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers are also known as man-made fibers, and these are the fibers that are synthesized in laboratory. Okay, so these synthetic fibers are synthesized in laboratory by the use of chemicals, or you can say that these are obtained from the chemical substances. Okay, and these fibers are made by man, that is why they are also known as man made fibers. And the examples of synthetic fibers are nylon, polyester, makhmal, fur. All these are the examples of synthetic fibers. Cashmelon, rayon, acrylon, dacron, orion, all these are also the examples of synthetic fibers. Okay. Besides all these natural and synthetic fibers, we have one more fiber that are known as mixed fibers. And what are these? Mixed fibers are the fibers which we get from the natural fibers and synthetic fibers. When the natural fibers are blended with artificial fibers, or you can say that synthetic fibers, we obtain more superior and useful fibers, and that fibers are known as mixed fibers. For example, terylene is a synthetic fiber and cotton is a natural fiber, and when we mix terylene and cotton, we get a mixed fiber which is known as terrycot. Similarly, if we mix terylene with silk, we get terry silk. If we mix terylene with wool, we get terry wool, and these terry wool, terrycot and terry silk are the mixed fibers. Okay, and these fibers are more superior and more useful fibers. These natural and synthetic fibers have some advantages, but they have some disadvantages too. So we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of natural and synthetic fibers. So first we will start with natural fibers. The clothes which are made from natural fibers are more comfortable than those made of synthetic fibers, because the natural fibers have the property of retaining our body's heat, so that is why they are more comfortable than synthetic fibers. Producing material from natural fibers are less harmful to our environment. So these natural fibers does not cause harm to our environment, that is why they are also known as environment friendly or eco friendly fibers. Okay, these natural fibers are non-allergic to skin. They does not cause any harm to our skin, because they are non-allergic to skin. So it can be used by anyone. Okay, and these cotton clothes or cotton fibers allow sweat to pass through them in hot and humid weathers from our body. Okay, so they are more comfortable. These fibers have some disadvantages also. First is they do not retain their crease for long time, and on ordinary washing they may shrink also. They can be easily attacked by moth and muds, and they do not dry rapidly. And some natural fibers are very expensive. For example, natural silk is very expensive and it is not quite affordable also. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of natural fibers. Now let's come to the advantages of synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers are very durable and do not wrinkle easily. They are elastic and can be easily stretched out. And these fibers are very strong and can sustain heavy load. That is why these synthetic fibers are used to make parachutes, because these fibers sustain heavy load. That is why they are used to make parachutes also. And these fibers are soft, and that is why it is used in clothing material. And these synthetic fibers do not absorb much water, that is why they dry up very fast and do not form wrinkles also. And these are not easily attacked by moth or muds. Okay, and these are very cheaper as compared to natural fibers. So These are the advantages of synthetic fibers. Now let's discuss the disadvantages. These are the advantages, and now we will discuss the disadvantages of synthetic fibers. So, what are the disadvantages? Most synthetic fibers do not absorb moisture. So, they do not allow air to pass through them, and that is why they are not good for summers, because they do not allow air to pass through them. And synthetic fibers can be affected if washed using hot water. They may be damaged by the use of hot water. If we wash them by using hot water, so they may be damaged, and it catches fire easily as compared to natural fibers. And these synthetic fibers catch fire very easily. That is why we should not wear synthetic clothes while working in the kitchen, because it may catch fire very easily, and after burning it may stick to the skin also. So these are the disadvantages of synthetic fibers. Now we will discuss the natural and synthetic fibers one by one. So first natural fiber is cotton. Cotton is one of the most important fiber crop, and its production is also largest in the world. And the use of cotton to manufacture clothes was known to the people of Indus Valley civilization. The cotton plants need a warm climate during the growing period. It needs a rainfall of about 60 centimeter to 100 centimeter, and a black soil is also needed for the growth of the cotton, because black soil is most suitable for its growth. And this black soil is found in the Deccan Plateau and the Malwa Plateau. Alright. A clear and sunny weather is also required during the harvesting season, because the rains sometimes damage the entire cotton crop. So a clean, dry and sunny weather is most suitable, and it is must during harvesting season. The quality of this raw cotton depends on its length and its fineness, softness, strength, color and cleanliness also. And the main cotton producing countries are USA, China, Russia, India, Egypt, Brazil, Sudan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan. And in India, cotton is mostly grown in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh also. Okay. Now let's come to the cultivation of cotton. In India, the cotton is cultivated in black clay soil. It needs warm climate, and the sowing of cotton crop is done in early spring. So in India, the growing period of cotton is from March to November, from spring to winter season. Okay, and the cotton seeds are planted in the early spring in a well prepared field. Okay, and cotton plants are bushy and about 1 to 2 meters tall. The plants starting flowering in about 60 days and give whitish yellow flowers. And these flowers, after few days, these flowers turn into reddish color. Okay, and these flowers slowly grow into spherical walnut like structure, and these walnut like structures are also known as cotton balls. And each cotton ball contains about 30 seeds and up to 5 lakh cotton fibers. And after maturation, these cotton balls burst up and the seed covered with cotton fibers can be seen. So fibers of cotton grows on these seeds, and after some time these green cotton balls turn brown, and at maturity these cotton balls burst up and white cotton fibers can be seen. You can see here also that the cotton balls burst up and the seeds covered with the cocoon fibers with cotton fibers can be seen here. All right, so these are the cotton fibers. After that, the heat of the sun dries these fibers, turning them fluffy and as white as snow. You can see here that the cotton field looks like a field covered with snow. Now, at the time of harvesting, these cotton crop is mostly hand picked. But nowadays, in big fields, machines are also used for cotton picking. Alright. Now we will discuss that how these cotton fibers can be converted into fabric. Okay, so there are so many processes. First process is ginning. So the first process in the processing of cotton is ginning. The cotton picked up from the plants has seeds in it. The process of removing cotton seeds from the pods is also known as ginning. So the process by which we separate the cotton fibers from its seeds, that process is known as ginning. And this ginning was traditionally done by hand, but nowadays machines are used for this process. Okay, and the machine is called as a roller gin, which is used for ginning. This roller gin has steel pins which are fixed on two rollers, and these rollers act as comb. And when the cotton fibers are passed through these roller gins, the seeds are combed out and they are collected in a vessel, and the ginned cotton, which is also known as lint, that is left behind. So I'll show you the ginning machine also. So this is a roller gin which is used for ginning, and in this roller gin two rollers are fixed which act as a comb, and when the cotton seeds are passed through this roller gin, so the seeds are combed out and they are collected in a vessel here, and the ginned cotton, which is also known as lint, that is left behind. Okay, so this is the process of ginning. Now the next process is pressing. So after ginning, this ginned cotton is pressed into bundles which are also known as bales, and these bales are transported to the textile mill for the making of cotton fabric. Now the next process is after ginning and pressing, the next process is spinning. Spinning is the twisting together of drawn out strands of fibers to form yarns and is a major part of the textile industry. So basically spinning is the process of changing fibers into yarns. In this process, several short fibers are twisted together to form a long continuous thread which is known as a yarn. So in this process, 2, 3 or more than 3 strands of fibers twist together to form a long continuous thread that is known as yarn. So traditionally a simple device used for spinning, which is known as a hand spindle or takli, and another hand operated device which is used is charkha. So in rural areas people still use charkha for making this thread or yarn from cotton, but now on the large scale machines are used for spinning. Okay, so in this process basically what we do is we twist the continuous fibers and turn them into yarn. After spinning, the next process is weaving. The process of arranging two sets of yarns together to make a fabric is called as weaving. So weaving is the process to convert yarn into cloth. Okay, in this process two or more sets of yarns are arranged together and it forms a fabric. Okay, so this process is known as weaving, and the weaving is done on a hand loom manually. Traditionally it was doing manually, but nowadays machines are used for this weaving, and the machines which are used for weaving, they run on electricity, and these machines are known as power looms. Okay, because these looms run on electricity, that is why they are known as power looms. So in this process, two sets of yarns are arranged together, they interlock together, and the yarn which is placed lengthwise on the frame is known as wrap. What we call it as? We call it as wrap. Okay. And the another yarn which is placed above and below is known as the weft. So the weft is attached to the shuttle of the loom, and the shuttle moves forward and backward, carrying this weft alternatively over and under the wrap, and this makes the fabric. Okay, in this way the yarn is converted into fabric. So this is the process of weaving. Now this is the processing of cotton. Now we will discuss the uses of cotton. So cotton is used for many things such as clothes, cotton ball, cotton buds, bed sheets, reusable cotton nappies, yarns, and denim fabric also. Okay, and some products made from cotton include tents, army uniform, bed sheet, towel, astronaut inside space suits. Okay, and even medical supplies also. Cotton is blended with other fibers also to make artificial fibers like rayon and polyester. It is also mixed with terylene and form a mixed fiber which is also known as terrycot. Okay, and some of the food products that cotton is used in is it cotton seed oil, which is used for soap, margarine, and cosmetics. Cotton is also used in sheep and cattle feed. It is also used in surgeries also. So there are so many uses of cotton. Now rest part of this chapter we will discuss in our next video. So thank you and see you in the next video.